Welcome to Tiger Talks Wrestling. This is your host, Tiger. I am joined today with a temporary co host, H2.
Hey, thanks for having me, Tony. Mr. 999 right here on the Tiger Talks Wrestling podcast. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining me. We are also joined by VTW's Dustin Reagan, the man of war.
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Thanks for joining us today, Dustin. Now let's get
Oh, yeah.
started with what got you into backyard wrestling.
Well, it's going to be kind of funny, but mine's not usually like everyone else's. I actually started in the Indies, and I saw the Indies as not where I want to be because, like, where I'm at in South Carolina, there's not a lot of updated type indie shows. Everything's like not back stuck in the 1970s, and I can't. There's only so many times I can do a match, and the most athletic thing I do is a drop kick.
Right?
So I contacted Ecstatic from VTW, and the rest is history.
Very nice. So, who would you say are some influences that you had when you first started watching or getting into BYW?
If you want me to be completely honest with you, I truly never watched it.
Okay.
I just kind of knew people did it. I had no idea high, like, how much people watch it, because people don't think it's a popular thing, but it's kind of like one of them things like people are watching. It's popular, but it's unpopular to talk about.
Right.
It's kind of got like
You
a
do.
cult
Oh, you do
following.
back. Everyone's like, oh, you do backyard wrestling. That's weird. Why don't you just do indies? Or the indies guys, it's like, oh, that backyard BS, that thing's so horrible. But then I'm like, well, I mean, do you watch BT like W? Like, we're not what you. 99.9% of people have this interpretation that backyard wrestling is all hardcore.
Right.
And if you watch like VTW, UWB, well, VTW, you'll see that like it's not really. We run it as if we're an indie type company, but we don't.
Mhm.
We tried our best to keep the hardcore to as much as the story minimum needs.
Right. I would agree with you on that. From seeing VTW for the last little over a year now, and going back even, they they seem pretty good with not having too many of those hardcore matches.
Right. Like when we had the trampoline, I couldn't stand it.
Right.
Cause you think it's weird going from a trampoline to a ring.
Hmm.
No, I went from a ring to a trampoline.
Yeah.
Right.
I was so uncomfortable for the longest of time, and like everyone thinks it's hard to go from a trampoline to the ring. Actually, it's vice versa. Because from a trampoline, at least you're learning how to fall, and plus, you think like the ring would be more dangerous. Technically, in my opinion, that trampoline is, because if you land awkwardly, well, one dude's standing in it, so then the way the trampoline is not level already.
hmm
So
Right.
if you bump right, you might end up bumping wrong.
Yeah, I just recently started working in a ring, and I can definitely see where you're coming from. I would never
Like
want to go back to a trampoline.
right, like to me, like it's just the unbalance of it, have and like every time you do a movie, you're just bouncing. It took me forever to learn how not to do that,
Yeah.
and that was like the biggest transition for me was getting used to that. And then finally, PTW and we all saved up enough money to get this uh, ring that doesn't tighten ropes. But anyway, it's a
Send help.
ring, right? And oh
Right.
man, we just launched from there.
Yeah, that's true. I would say you guys subscriber wise have gone up quite a bit since you guys went from the trampoline to a wrestling ring.
Yeah, well, because people now look at us and they think we're legit, and
Right.
it puts us in this category where honestly I don't even call ourselves a backyard company. It's more like just a YouTube wrestling company.
Kind of.
And like to me, I think that's the best way we can go with it, because back
Right.
it's already got that such of a trash name on it.
Somebody,
Right.
I think it was on the VTW channel. It was posted. It was I think it was Drew Hood versus Dirty Dachinko, and it was the just that match, and it was like labeled like semi-indie, and I feel like that's a really good way to describe you guys, because you guys don't feel like a backyard wrestling company anymore.
Right, and I'm glad you can say that, because to me that's the biggest honor I had. Anyone ever say about us? Because if you look at us, and no disrespect to kind of about the name, but the ESW, I feel like that's one reason why Backyard Wrestling got its reputation. Because like every video you watch, I don't care what it was, there was live tubes, there was some kind of deadly other device that probably who knows what it had on it. And I give them credit, they took the moves, and God, it looks like it hurts a very lot.
Oh, yeah.
But at that's one reason why I think people look at it as such a horrible and disgusting event. But
Right.
with us, you know, we really don't use like if we use weapons, it's like maybe a chair, you know, the basic stuff.
Yeah. You
Right.
guys don't go out of your
right.
way.
Like, if we use like thumbtacks or like uh, a table on fire or something, it's gonna be for the story, and the story's gonna call for it. You know what I mean? Like we build these things up, we don't just go and do it.
Right.
Yeah, that's another thing